I'm not gonna take your shit anymore. Yay.
You have to. We are co-hosts
You're
of
not
the
my boss, man.
Ataraxy podcast. We're the co-hosts of the Ataraxy podcast, and we are very relevant.
Yeah.
Hi.
It started?
Yeah, it started. I'm first. Now you're just
I'm
gonna
last.
confuse the fuck out of me. Last one to be last loses. I'm winning. You're gonna do it at the last minute. Nah, you're gonna forget. Still winning. Anyways,
So, second week in a row.
I was making a
we're in
mood
the same
board.
room.
It's the second week in a row that I've been making mood boards every day,
Yeah?
and my life has drastically changed. My life
Bro,
has drastically changed.
Do you feel that, like, your frequency is higher?
Dude, I like...
Bro, I bought these crystals yesterday, man, and I just
My
I
frequencies-
swallowed 3 of them.
My
and
frequencies are so
they're just,
high.
like, in my stomach right now.
My frequencies are so
Radiating
fucking
energy.
high. Like, people think I'm high all the time, but like, I'm actually like straight edge. Like,
Bro, really?
I don't even fucking
tell me
smoke
that too.
weed. I don't
Really?
even smoke weed. Like, I just set my mind to like the higher frequencies that my mood board channels for me, and then I'm just like high all the time.
Bro, I totally feel that. I think, like, we're on the same frequency.
Dude, like 100%, bro.
Bro, we'd be, like, awesome friends, man.
Dude,
you wanna be
we
friends?
let's be friends, bro.
Alright,
Oh,
yep,
dude,
sweet brother.
tight. You want my blunt, bro?
No, man. Yeah, man.
Wait, we're not supposed to get high off weed. This is my high vibrations blunt. It's imaginary. Welcome to the 4D realm. Dude, we're one episode away from being 20 weeks into the podcast.
That's crazy.
There's 52 weeks in a year, so we're about to be halfway through the year.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Wow.
It's already been
We've
March,
already passed.
April, May, June, July, August. So we're 5 months into the podcast.
Fuck.
I'm about to be 6.
That's crazy.
September's gonna be 6. This is gonna be very interesting seeing how we're gonna be able to do this every week with school, and
Yeah.
especially during
I
like
think it might be
midterm
easier
season.
with school.
I think what we're gonna have to do through midterm season is do multiple episodes when we have free time.
Yeah. Or weekends.
But that's so unnatural. It's gonna be like, all right, end recording,
Yeah.
start.
Welcome
to the.
I'm gonna be so tired, too. Like,
We
I
just
won't
find
be able to
topics.
talk.
What are you saying?
Just
What's the past week, bro? These weeks are fucking flying by,
Yeah.
nigga. It's already been a week since we've been last in the same place doing the same exact thing we're doing right now.
And the only thing different is the clothes we're wearing.
Is that we're
and
at
the
higher frequencies, too.
experiences- Than the experiences that we have experienced
Oh shit.
through the past week.
And the fucking quantity of mood boards have increased since last time too. And the quality of mood boards have increased since last time. I have a show. Well, it's too late to say that,
Yeah.
but I had a show Saturday, last Saturday. If you came, thanks. Yeah. And then what else?
Well, you had to clarify.
What else is going on?
You had a show in the future on Saturday.
Show in the future in my time, which is in the past in your time, last Saturday. I bet it was great. If you didn't come, I have possibly another show in the month, possibly 2 other shows in the month. So you have a chance to come again. Do you want to bring merch? No. Never mind. That's a bad idea because it's not my show, so that's pretty bad. What's your week been like? What you do this week? Last week.
I've been working all week in my new job.
Got a job.
Got a job.
I went up and got a job.
Mostly just been trying to acclimate to that, so I haven't been doing anything else. Get home from work, maybe like
Masturbate.
go sweat a little bit.
Do you used to play soccer?
Yeah, I'll just like juggle, try to get to like 200 and then stop. Cause
200 like juggles,
yeah.
in a row, or do you like keep
In a
restarting
row.
until you get to 200?
I keep restarting until I get 200.
Make sure the mic stays like straight, because I don't want you sounding. I can't hear anything, so I don't want you
It's a
sounding.
really good practice for like just concentration and muscle memory.
And
I
fucking determination, nigga.
Yeah.
Because try to get 200 in a row and not stopping until you get 200 in a row.
I mean,
That probably gets frustrating too.
it does, because I'll get to like 190 and I'll start over. again.
You'll fuck up and you have
Yeah,
to start
because I'm like, oh fuck, I'm so close. Only 10 more, and then
yeah, that
fuck up.
Yeah, no. I would fucking start crying.
That's what Steph Curry does. Like
That's what a
he'll
lot of
take
them
like
do.
5 shots. Well, he has to sink 5 swishes in a row. Only then does he leave the field.
I think Kobe had a thing too. It was like 100 free throws or something in a row or something like that. Whereas like he doesn't leave until he gets 100 in a row.
That's a great practice.
And those niggas like, especially Kobe. Kobe was like a monster though.
Yeah.
I'm not that into basketball, but just from like what I've heard from like interviews and like shit like that.
Yeah.
He
he'll be
was
up at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, niggas like his team comes to the gym and then he's already been there for like 2 hours. And then he's also a dick at practice with his team. So he's like, he doesn't. It's like every fucking people who's done anything cool have always been called assholes by everyone else. It's a very interesting pattern. Like assholes,
I guess,
not
like, just because the world they live in is so much like you bypass all the bullshit of like, oh, I don't want to work this hard.
Yeah, I don't even think it's because they're assholes. Because like reading Steve's biography and Elon too, they both had like the same things of people really, really like just them being bad socially. And in terms of they don't beat around the bush. That's all it is. Like Steve, the thing with Steve is if you made a design and then I don't know for whatever project you're working on and he doesn't like, he'll be like it's shit.
Yeah.
Like he'll like there's like there's quotes of him just going like it's shit. Like this is shit. But the thing about Steve is like if you can prove to him that it's not, he won't be afraid to go, okay, like you're right, I was wrong. Same thing with Elon. It's like it's ugly, it's not good enough. Like let's do more. Like we've been talking about Elon so much. But it's like I expect like 100-hour work weeks from him. Like you can't. He said you can't get anything accomplished without like working like a fucking madman. So like, bro, 100-hour work weeks.
I can't.
Nigga, I've been doing 30 hours all July, and that's crazy. But then again, that's like a job that you don't really care about. Like, working at H&M is like,
it's like automated almost.
Yeah.
Like
I don't even think about it anymore. I'm not even in it anymore.
Just a robot.
I'm just there. Nigga, watch the damn mic.
Fuck, I keep forgetting.
Because it's like slippery and it's kind of crooked. Anyways, we spoke about Brave New World, but you know 1984, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a question because I was talking to that. I was talking about that with my coworker this week because he read both. He actually had, shout out Al if you're listening to this. He actually had a play. He had to do a play for 1984. It was like his first paid like gig for like drama, I guess. And then when I started reading Brave New World, I took a photo, put in my story. I was like, oh shit, I read it. It's great, blah, blah, blah. And then I finished it and we talked about it. And I started reading, I'm reading 1984 now. And they're kind of two different versions of where the world, don't worry about it. I think it's just crooked like that. I think the screw is just fucked. But
two different versions.
It's two different versions of where the world. I feel like at the time they were written, it's just little things that people noticed that were happening in the world, and then they just kind of set them in a dystopian future. Right. And it seems prophetic, but it's something that's always been the case. So Brave New World, I don't want to spoil too much. I already kind of broke it down last episode, though. Yeah. It's just like everyone's conditioned to be happy all the time. That's how they control them. They make you think you're happy.
Exactly where we are right now.
They make you think you're happy where you are, but 1984 is Big Brother is watching you, so the way they control people is through fear.
Right. So you're not happy. You're fucking.
You're as we imagine we are like as we are right now. Basically. But there's a screen every fucking place you go. There's mics everywhere. There's cameras everywhere.
China.
Sounds like something that's like almost near, if not happening. There's cameras everywhere. There's sounds everywhere. Everyone's looking
Facial
at you.
Recognition.
There's like eyes on you all the time, and that's like the big people.
We don't even.
That's the what's it called? The party, I think that government is called in that world, and they're always watching you. And if you just look like you're not like satisfied with like the world, like there was one where they wake them up and you have to do physical exercise. Like the telescreen wakes you up. Let's imagine this is a screen. It wakes you up. There's like a person that comes up and they just make you do morning stretches, and you're supposed to look like happy with doing it. And if you don't, just a little like suspicion, just a little suspicion, and then they're gonna start like, okay, like this guy is suspicious. Like it's basically a dictatorship, but like with technology involved, like heavy technology. But both of them sound like the present. Like both of them sound like shit that's happening right now. So is it just two different authors taking different sides on like the world, two different extremes, or is it just possible places that the world would go. Maybe it's just in the middle, and it's gonna end up leaning more towards one side or the other. Because when I think about it, 1984 is like PC culture.
Right.
If you say anything that differs from any opinion, any mainstream opinion,
right, you're a bigot.
You're crucified. Niggas will literally go. Niggas will dox you. You know what doxing is, right? They'll find your if you're behind a username, they'll hack you, find your name, your full name, your address, and they could probably find where you work. There's people who've had like that thing where through Twitter, some white girl will say something that black people don't like. They'll find her address. They'll find where she works. They'll find what school she goes to, and they'll just harass her until her life is ruined. Like, that's fucked up. That's worse than what that person probably did. Or because they probably didn't even do anything. They probably just said some shit. Dumb shit that young people do as they grow up. Dumb, edgy teenager shit. But now you're not allowed to fuck up anymore. You have to be perfect all the time. Any sign that you're not what those guys want you to be, any sign that you may oppose it, you're like, ugh, you know?
Right. And those people
throwing you on the side.
Those people enforcing that have way too much time on their hands.
And the people who are enforcing that are in power are just using that to just get more power.
Right. Because, like,
you saw that Gillette commercial I sent you.
Which one?
The Gillette commercial.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was bullshit.
What was it even about?
That was bullshit. Like, that was a girl who transitioned into a guy, and then she took hormones to the point where now she started getting like a beard, and then she was like the thing was centered around Gillette, like shaving.
Right.
But that's just, nigga. That's people running that don't give a fuck about that shit. They just know it's popping.
The pawns.
They just know it's popping. They know there is an emotional little point they're gonna hit in you if you have experience in that.
And for them, it's so easy because you just put out this information. You don't even have to hire people to do this, to do that. It's the people against themselves. They're creating an internal struggle within society.
And that's when it's like a mix between both, like a Brave New World kind of world and then a 1984 kind of world. Because then when they side with you and you're like, oh my God, I'm so happy, that's a distraction from them actually just getting you to just spend money on their brand. And then
it's the illusion of choice, right?
Yeah, and then if you let's say you, like we were doing it right now, you're calling the commercial bullshit, but it's on such a sensitive, quote unquote sensitive topic, then that's when it becomes 1984 because you're arguing against it. And then as soon as you just say anything that is against it, since it's so sensitive, they can't get criticized for it because it just makes you look like it makes it look like quote unquote hate speech. So if you criticize it, you can't. Look at how progressive we're being. We're Gillette. We care about those people. We care. Oh,
you don't agree?
It's like,
I'm going to chop your head off.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like those that for Pride Month, like Pride Month is fucking great. And every movement is great until the big niggas get involved. Because they industrialize it. So all those companies on Instagram or on Twitter change their logos to that little the flag, right? And as soon as that last day hits, change it back.
Yeah.
So all you're doing, seeing all of this, is just like thinking they care.
Yeah.
Maybe now I'll spend more money on them. Oh, they made this shirt, and then it says this thing now, and now I can feel great about myself and feel like those companies care about me. It's individualism. They make you feel like Starbucks. That's why they put your name on the cup. So you feel like, oh man, this was made for me. And you can realize it's bullshit when they start fucking your name up all the time. And it can't even think Acris. You're gonna fuck that up. What do you think about that though? Because like, what do you think we're more leaning towards?
I think we're more leaning towards a Brave New World because everybody has phones in their pockets and like everybody's on Instagram. Everybody is hooked on something. Yeah. To a certain level. So like bro, look at our world realistically. Like we're making discovery about alien technology. Like, okay, that alone in itself should be like a trigger. Like, oh shit, there's bigger things happening than calling this person by the right gender. It's like, no, there's bigger things happening in the world, but no one's paying attention to it. It's not just that. It's like the slavery is still going on. It's like,
I heard some shit about how there's more slaves today than like there was in the like black people slavery days. I feel like
maybe because the population is so massive, but I feel like the percentage is less.
Yeah, it's probably less actually. Yeah.
Because that's the same with poverty, I think. It's like the percentage of poverty.
The amount of people has gone up, but the percentage probably still gone down. Because poverty has gone down around the world, right? So
for sure.
But yeah, I feel like it's this thing of it just feels
We're
like
just
everything.
content. We're just content with where we're at.
Everything's just distractions from bigger issues. Like it's just bigger picture stuff that is being ignored completely, and then we're just focusing on minuscule things that won't matter in 10 to 20 years.
Just listening to a podcast before I came in, they were saying
5 years.
like, oh fuck, where was this? What was it saying? Oh yeah, like all the information that we need is out there.
Oh, it already exists.
Everything is out there. Like if you want to learn black magic, you can find someone teaching a class. If you want to know, you can find in chapters. Like if you want to learn yoga, you can find an instructor. If you want to learn fucking who knows what, you can find
and
it.
if you can't find an instructor, YouTube.
Yeah. But what's stopping all that is like just the dumbed down lowest common denominator advertising bullshit. It's like, oh, that Gillette commercial. Oh, so progressive. Wow. wow, amazing. Let's back to this.
We don't need
which
to,
is great, but like
how is that?
There's bigger shit going on.
Anyone could make this. It's just why Gillette. Like, I get it. Yeah, we know.
It's a branding
like, you're
thing.
gonna have to shave if you start growing beard hair. Yeah. It's no lie. You're gonna have to shave. And
I guess they're trying to capture.
We know you're gonna want to buy a razor, and we're gonna try to make this thing first. So that if you're in that situation, you fall into that specific demographic. You're gonna buy our shit.
In a way,
you're gonna go to Gillette. You're gonna go to the store. It's marketing. You're gonna go to the store, and then what's gonna happen is you're gonna remember the emotion that you felt when you watched that Gillette commercial, and you're gonna think Gillette cares more about you than all of those other brands, and you're gonna pick Gillette. It's just manipulating niggas.
That's so innovative because it's in a marketing sense. It's like, oh, let's capture that market while
smart.
we can.
It's smart, but it's fucked up at the same. It's like fucked up smart.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even fucked up in a sense because it's like, it's the extrapolation that is fucked up. It's like, oh, they're doing this, but even
how can we profit off that?
How can we profit?
How can you profit off such a off a? It's the fact that it's sensitive will not only gear us from criticism, well, it'll make us less prone to criticism, and also let's like. Those people, we're gonna, since it's such at a peak right now, we're definitely gonna touch an emotional trigger. And if that person is like, I guess easy to manipulate, like to that extent, they're gonna fall for this. Like this is a good marketing strategy. It's a marketing strategy.
Yeah.
They don't care. There's probably people who work for them that care, but it's Gillette. If they don't make money, they go out of business. So money's the main drive. The money is the reason why.
And not change.
Not
like sustainability or anything. Because I read a stat. I was watching a YouTube video on water, and it said, if our world keeps going at it the way it is right now, well, okay, currently
we're gonna run out of water.
Currently, we have 1 in 6 people have access to water. Or fuck, what was it?
1 in 6. What do you mean 1 in 6?
Oh, fuck.
That is a low percentage. There's no way.
Basically, I think it's 1 in 2 maybe right now. Fuck, I forgot.
So half of the world has access to water.
Yeah, or probably less. Well, clean water. And then by 2050, it's gonna be like 1 in 6.
Nigga, the most powerful country in the world. Well, it's changing, but the most powerful country in the world still has states that have water problems.
And it's
Flint. Flint still has cities with water problems, and it's in the fucking States. And it's been like, what, 5 years, 4 years since that's been a thing? Niggas just don't care. Niggas don't care. It's niggas who are literally...
They have the technology to figure that out.
Oh, come on, it's water filtration. Like, how is that such a hard challenge to fucking fix? But we don't care about these things. We want to fucking watch, like, we want to care about who's fucking who. What celebrities doing what. Oh, fucking Kim Kardashian used a Japanese word for a company. That's what's a fucking issue for you? The word a made up fucking set of symbols that she's using.
What was it, kimono?
Yeah. As made up, like maybe it's just, maybe that's an issue. Maybe if you don't fuck with that, I mean, the Japanese president.
Then you're just being silly, bro.
The Japanese president sent the letter to her and say
you're crying fucking wolf. It's like, oh, cultural appropriation. Like, how do you know they're appropriating
that's
it?
your issue?
How do you know they're not just appreciating it?
How is that your issue? How is that an issue right now?
It's an issue because you think that, oh, she's gonna take all the credit for this because the stupid people are gonna think she made it, whereas the educated people, they already know that it's Japanese tradition and Japanese like.
And her name is Kim.
Yeah. So there's no conflict.
That's actually a pretty good brand name. Like in the context of someone whose name is Kim, Like, sick. Of course, I mean, the concept of the company, which is like shapewear and stuff, with kimono, it doesn't really match. But just the name, her name itself being Kim and then it being kimono, that's how I saw it. And it's just kimono, you already know the word, you're familiar with it. Just do that.
Yeah.
But no
one owns the word.
It's this thing people have, bro. I feel like a lot of people have envy, and it's this celebrity thing.
It's also
just,
entitlement.
We're so fucking like. It feels like we're always if anyone's in a more 1984 situation, it's celebrities, because Big Brother is watching them at all times. You can't go out without flashing lights constantly,
and
like
you can't
every
do anything
move,
wrong.
and you can't do anything wrong. Justin Bieber fucking started. We've seen that nigga grow up. First of all, we've seen him grow up. We've seen like Willow Smith, Jaden Smith grow up, but Justin was the most interesting one because he had the rebel teenager phase. Of like starting doing dumb shit and like rebelling and pissing in fucking mop things and then fucking smoking weed, and then people freaked out like he's not supposed to. The teenagers who have gone through that, who probably did heroin in their days, are getting mad at Justin Bieber because he's a celebrity and he's not supposed to act. He's supposed to be perfect.
Yeah, they hold him to a higher standard.
He's supposed to be the same Justin Bieber, 13-year-old, when he's fucking 16. Like, the nigga can't grow up or fuck up. Like, his fuck ups are way crazier than ours will ever be because he's a celebrity. And that makes no sense to me. And that's just, to me, my theory is that it's just the other distraction thing. You're so fucking...
You're fixated on his growth because you're too lazy to focus on your own.
You're so, like, not lazy or just not courageous enough to handle your own adversities that you'd rather go towards someone else who's probably facing it themselves or probably has the resources to fix it themselves. Someone who's successful. And then you're just... nitpicking them. Right. You're breaking down every building around you so that you don't look like you have the smallest building in the fucking district, in the area. So there's just a bunch of people whose lives are crumbling down, just calling out other people. It's like, you're wrong. You're supposed to be like this. You're a bigot. Blah, blah, blah. Like, if you don't have bigger things to deal with.
Right, because they feel it puts them on a platform.
It's like it's like a trend to hate Kim Kardashian. It's like a cool thing. You're supposed to hate her. You're supposed to care about what she does. Like, why does her getting plastic surgery matter to you so much? Like, why are you so pissed off at the fact that she has... The only thing that could be an issue is insecure teenagers seeing that and thinking that they have to look like that. Yeah, aspiring to look like that.
Which is a problem.
The Kylie Jenners, the Kim Kardashians, like the celebrities who can just have access to any kind of... Who can just, like, engineer themselves physically. They have the money and resources to do that. Cool. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to do that, you can. Go ahead.
It's probably not great for longevity.
Probably, yeah, definitely not. Like, when you're like 60, you're gonna look so fucking weird. Yeah. But people who see that, that's the issue. That's the only issue. I understand that. Yeah. To be like that as a criticism, I understand it. But at a certain point, it's like there's people who feel like that, who see those people, and they're like, oh man, like, I'm insecure because everyone is so obsessed with this girl on Instagram and I look this way. But then you start to, instead of like maybe building your self-esteem, which is hard, I'm not saying it's fucking easy, build your self-esteem, you're going around shitting on every person who's looking up at that person instead of just working on your issue. It's like how everything's a paradox, right? It's like, yeah, it's bad, but you can't just lean on the fact that that's like happening. At that point,
you're just pulling people down. You're not climbing yourself.
Yeah, you're just staying there, miserable, hating yourself, and then to make up for it, to distract yourself from it, you're just calling everyone who is enabling whatever that Instagram famous person is doing a piece of shit, shitty men, blah blah blah, trash men, trash, blah 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 blah. She's fake. She's fake.
So funny
she's fake.
Because that same girl will ask her friend to take a picture of her, but turn her back to the camera and arch her back.
That same girl probably doesn't even like herself.
Flaunt her ass.
That's the joke. That's the joke in life. How life is a joke. Sometimes it's just like not. Sometimes it's like a joke all the time. Actually, life is actually
a joke. The laugh
I'm just
is on you.
Laughing. Yeah, all the time. And if you don't laugh for long, you're gonna have a bad time. If you take shit too seriously, you're gonna have a bad. But it's like, that person you think is perfect and was getting all those beautiful comments, that person probably fucking hates themselves. and has the lowest self-esteem issues, and that's why they're being that online. Like, all you see is what they post online, and you think you know them. Just even if they have a reality TV show, it's a TV show. There's no reality in it whatsoever. Maybe there is, but they're on camera, so they're being watched.
And they themselves aren't even being portrayed. It's the identity that people think they have.
And they have to entertain people,
too. They have to entertain people. They have to keep that face up. And then you go home and it's like, oh, you're just normal, whatever your name is. You're not the actor anymore. You're just
another human being, another Homo sapien.
Another human being.
On a rock rotating a fucking ball of fire that could explode at any time. But this matters. But like, this is what you're looking up to. Like, I don't even care about that anymore, because we're gonna repeat ourselves. We've figured out. We figured shit out already. It's just at this point, it's just repeating knowledge until it becomes wisdom. It's this thing of finding external solutions for problems where the solution is actually internal.
Yeah.
It's like
trying to fill that void where like you can't fill it with anything physical.
Nothing can fill it for you except yourself. And I think, why do you think we're so obsessed with that?
Because it's easy. It's quick. Everything else takes too long. It's too hard.
Get rich quick.
Yeah, like you wanna, bro. I was in this program and this girl was like, yeah, I tried yoga. I went to yoga class and meditation, but then when I got home, I was still sad. So it doesn't work. I'm like, okay. Like I wanted to just tell her, like, are you serious? Like, you went to one class and you think all your problems are gonna be solved.
I would have told her that.
But she was so emotional that I didn't even want to go there. Like, oh, okay, that's too bad. Yeah. If she was one of my friends, I would be like, fuck is wrong with you? Like, continue doing that for 2 weeks and see where you are.
I went to the gym yesterday and I got home and I was still fucking skinny or still fucking
fat. And even
fat.
on top of that, it's like, people don't want the simple shit. It's like, oh, let me get a trainer who does some cool backflips and shit. Whereas you should be working on balance and stability before any strength.
Niggas can just do push-ups every day and probably build so much strength and muscle, and they think they need this $20 a month gym membership that they can't afford.
Because it's accountability. You spend some money, so now you got.
Yeah, that's the only reason why it works. But if you can't afford it and you're not going because you can't afford it,
that's silly.
When you have all of those,
exists.
when you can literally go to the internet and just search no weights home workout.
You can find programs that are free. Find a friend, like literally programs. You can buy a very good program for like $150, which is an amazing investment, because that program will last you like 8 weeks,
probably add to your life.
Yeah,
add some days to your life. You remember it. You could probably, like, after you've learned it, mastered it. If you're into that, teach others for free or for money, whatever you want, and then get the joy out of teaching other people something that you were lost in. And now those people who were lost, you're like, hey, I can help you. Like, I could give you that solution.
And you can cut their learning time down. Like if you want to figure everything out while reading books, that's okay, but it's gonna take you 20 years. Whereas if you find a good mentor, like that already knows everything, you can compress all that learning into 5 difficult years.
Yeah, that's the difference between books and like a real life professor, teacher, mentor, because situational.
It's experience.
There's a situational thing too. It's like you're reading a book that was made by someone who is trying to like speak to the widest variety of people possible. When there is a person who will see your situation, your unique situation, who is an expert and knows what you specifically need. Maybe your way of learning piano is not by learning how to read music, but you think it is because that's how, like, it's sold to you online or it's told to you, blah, blah, blah. But if you meet the right person, that person could probably, like, know
if they're learned enough.
When they like figured it out, when they just see you like they could probably just figure it out. They could probably figure it out that you don't need to do that.
Optimize your learning.
They could just figure out like your unique way of doing of learning something. That's why a mentor is probably better. And that's why so many people.
It is better.
100%. Books are just like, if you can't find a person, there are people. There are people who gave the most knowledge, wisdom that they could, put it inside 200 to 400 pages, and you could just learn that. But it's just like, I'm real. Did I say this last time or did I say it offline? How all advice is bad advice. I think that was offline.
Maybe.
Cause
didn't Gary say that?
Yeah, all advice is bad advice because when people give you advice, if they don't know you, they're just giving you a general piece of advice.
Might not align to the way that you need to learn.
Yeah, because most people today think that they're supposed to be making music, being an artist somehow, being progressive, being PC. Most people think they're supposed to have $1 million to be happy and successful. Most people think they're supposed to be this, they're supposed to be that, because that's what's shown a lot. That's what's glamorized.
And that money is the only thing.
And they're forgetting that like they're a unique human being who has their own DNA code. And there's a lot of things that you can't control. Like, there's like a whole fucking set of things that have shaped who you are today. And you're thinking that this person who has this own set of things that have shaped them to who they are is the same as you. And their situational awareness.
Is, even that asshole who's good at something, like, they can be the best teacher to a certain person because they're the only ones that can teach something that way.
Could drill it into their head that way, but in the asshole way. Someone just needs an asshole to teach them how to do something.
Everything's in the right place.
Exactly. That's my new mantra. I've been saying that so much.
Bro, also, like, in terms of like mantras, that's why I don't listen to trap music. It's like you're literally drilling that information into your head over and over and over. I don't need that. Please, get it away from me.
I'm off a perk. I'm off a Xanny.
Oh man,
Xanny,
let me
alcohol,
do that too. Like
alcohol, women.
Where do you think that's gonna?
Polygamy.
Where do you think that's gonna lead you to? Garbage in, garbage out.
Bro, I'd be listening to those songs. I'm actually worried. Like, these niggas are like
promoting that. Like,
not even that. It's just like a lot of times they put it in as like you have to express your truth, right? So if that's a habit you've built, you have a dependency. And you're talking about it in your art, which is something
glorifying
you'll do. Some people will glorify it because the popular people have gone popular off of saying probably genuinely they think that's the formula to success. You're supposed to talk about all these drugs and all this alcohol and all these substances and all this.
It is dopamine. It will lead to success because there are people in the world who aspire to that.
Quick success.
Yeah.
Someone, Maxo Cream, which is funny because he's a trap rapper, and his intro to his song says something people want money quick just to lose it quicker. And that's basically what happens. Like everyone's just following a formula, and then it's just like I want it now. I want it now.
And that's the brave new world aspect, because it's like you have the illusion that this will solve all your problems, and this is the only thing that will solve your problems.
I want fame. I want to be seen as an alpha male. I want all of this money. I want all this money. So I'm gonna just keep chasing hits. Like I just want to make hits. Like I want to make fast fashion. That's what it is.
Whereas if you strip that curtain away, it's like you actually see the truth. It's like, no. It's like, what do you actually want to do? Where can you? What's something you love to do that you can
to the point where you
while
can do it,
adding value to other people's lives?
You can do it until you die, until your last breath. Like if thinking about, let's say, I bet the way you feel about fashion right now is that it's either whether or not you make hundreds of thousands, hundreds, millions, billions of money from it, until your last breath, or until you're just completely over it, because humans change, right? You will be doing it. Nothing is going to stop you from doing it. Not your parents, not God, nothing will stop you from doing it. Because that's how I feel. And no money is driving that feeling. Yeah. It's just there.
It's a byproduct.
It
is there, but it's a byproduct of that end
goal. The way
goal.
I see it is we're doing what we're going to do when we're wealthy, when we have $1 billion, it's just going to be on a different scale. I think a lot of people are waiting for this to be like this, for them to feel this way. And that's what the law of attraction actually is. You're not supposed to be waiting for it to happen, the material, like the manifestation to happen for you to feel that way. You're supposed to feel that way, and then in turn it'll happen and come to you. But
everyone with the intention, with the perspective that you already have it, you're like, this is just an intermediary step where you have to do this and then you'll get it. It's not like, or how can I reword that?
Would you agree?
Like, you already have it.
Would you agree with me if I like reset it as do something that when you do it you feel successful? Just doing it makes you feel successful.
Yeah. If you don't feel successful, then that's not the law of attraction, because then you're treating that ends as a means.
Doesn't that just sound like common sense?
Yeah. It is, but common sense isn't common.
Like, that just sounds like a duh statement to me. It's like, why? Like, the reason why they're chasing all of these things is because they want money, or they want to. But if you want that to pay off, like, there's, of course, it's no advice is good advice. If you desperately need money to help your mom, because there's a rapper, I don't remember who. No, it's a producer, Taz Taylor. Anyone who knows maybe knows this. Taz Taylor is a producer from Internet Money. You don't know what the fuck that is. He makes trap beats, but it's just his situation on how he started and how he like started grinding. His mom or someone in his family had cancer, and to pay for treatment, he needed to get money, and that was his drive to go off. And he became successful, and he probably paid it off. But that's when the money is a drive, but that's the money, you're trying to get it not because the money is your end goal, because you're trying to save your fucking mom's or parents' life. That's not money being a goal. That's just money being
the means
to that goal that you're trying to, the means to the end. So, but I feel like all the time when niggas chase money,
right, it's the money that's downhill. The end, and the means is the process. The
means is just abusing whatever you're trying to get the money with. And find a formula that will get you it quick.
And at that point, it's not even like, okay, let's say it's music or fashion, whatever. If it's your means, then it's not going to be organic. It should be because if it's your means, it's like, all you're doing is you're just trying to satisfy the lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
And all it's going to be is shit you've already seen. Like, I want to make a shirt with a graphic on the left nipple.
Well, they'll love you for a week and forget you.
Yeah.
It's like memes. Like you'll be hot. You have a
song it's more club. Sustainable and just better to do it
for the sake of it.
Yeah, for the sake of it as the end.
Just for the sake and for the love of it.
Number 1, for your own happiness. Number 2, for your own success. And number 3, people will like you better.
And you're probably gonna end up
creating a movement,
and you're probably gonna end up doing something that lasts way longer. Yeah, it was like there's no reason for someone to wanna. Fuck, I need to figure out a new person to say. There's no reason for someone to go that far to try to make an electric car.
Right. No one's holding him accountable.
But it's just that drive, which is a fun. It's just that's a double entendre. It's just that drive. That drive just, even though the nigga's having an emotional breakdown, literally losing his mind, still goes forward.
Sorry, bro. I'm so glad that I figured out what it is for me that I need to do.
Oh man,
what my goal is.
I don't know about you, but is there one moment when you think it clicks? But I can't remember a moment where it clicked. Like, I'm gonna do this. There's a lot of people who say that, but
I think for me, it's not like concrete, the goal, but it's like I know
you have an
idea. I can see the shadow of it, and it's like I'm only getting closer to the actual.
You're never gonna reach it.
What?
You're just gonna keep going for it, but you're never gonna reach it. You're just gonna keep getting closer and closer and closer and closer to the point it's like probably that close, but you're never gonna reach it.
Which is okay.
Which is sick, because it'll just be a lifelong thing. And when you get reincarnated, or if you don't like do something crazy, you'll trigger it in someone else. So either way, it's like a win. Like it's a win.
Yeah.
It's a win. It doesn't matter. But you're so obsessed with like getting it now. You want to see it happen in your lifetime. I
feel so bad for like my parents. Just like they have to, like, they never really got to chase their dream. They were kind of just told, go to school.
Yeah, shit is sad.
Get a job so you can sustain your family. And I'm so grateful for that because I wouldn't be in Canada right now.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But it's like, oh man, like
everything's in its right place. I feel like the most you can do is shatter that worldview for them by doing it yourself.
Yeah.
Because
it's the only way.
If you think about it,
if it works, if you do it and it works, they'll be like, oh shit.
If you think about it, yeah. Because the thing about them is they're very skeptical. I think just most people, they're very skeptical. And if something's outside of what they believe in, it's going to be like, bullshit. Like, show me.
Especially if you're from out east. It's like, oh, you want to be an artist? Make a living?
That's fucking stupid. There's no such thing as that. All artists have sold their souls to the devil, or they were born super talented with a talent that you don't have. That's it. That's their view on artistry.
So fucked, man.
So fucked up. So fucked up. Imagine telling that to a fucking kid, bro. I got told that. I don't know how I'm here, but that's why the earthquake is the best thing to ever happen. The earthquake shattered everything, which is funny because it's an
crazy.
Earthquake.
Happened at the perfect time too.
Perfect fucking time. Jesus Christ. 10 years old, come here, realize that that's what everything I knew is not everything that there was. And then it's just like, now I'm fucking shipping out items to strangers. I'm fucking putting out a song a week. Oh man, it's so tight. But it's just, I think the only way for them to change that, because they're fucking stubborn as hell, is especially the immigrant ones, is to see results. Specifically, sadly, but specifically money. If they see that you're starting to make a solid income from it, because they care. Yeah. They're doing it with positive intent, and it's because they just don't want to. They were sold that money is everything, and if you're not making money, to them you're not successful. That's their like criteria for success, not you being happy. A lot of them are probably very fucking depressed, but they're making money, so it's okay. They're not working a job they like. They hate themselves because they didn't do whatever they wanted to do, whatever they were driven, working late night. They can't sleep long enough. They're in this fucking country where their degrees from wherever they came from doesn't fucking count for anything, but they're getting money. That's all that matters. But they're getting money to support their children. Right. Well, and that's where the good intent is.
They're getting money to support their offspring, which maybe they can go to school. But if you force them that way, they're just going to be doing the exact same thing you're doing right now. If you condition the same thing that has led you to that depressed like point that you're at, you're just going to make your son depressed. Like, I don't think they're going to go down this exact same path.
But a lot of them are also like Brave New Worlded to the point where they think that they're happy. Like, a lot of them think that's like what life is supposed to be.
So, I have a mortgage, house,
buy a house I can't afford so I could impress my peers. A bit like a house that is a bit more than what I need, has a bit or more than what I need, so that I can compensate for my insecurities, for my lack of doing what I want to do in life, and then so I could feel successful. Let me get a cool car too that I can't afford and pay off monthly.
And all you really need is one, just piece of information that just shatters your world. But you can get that information and just be like desensitized to it. Where most people are, say, "Oh yeah, I'm on my phone, blah blah blah."
If you're 40 years old,
they don't even know that it's like groundbreaking.
If you're 40 years old, like that's been a thing that you've been conditioned to believe for 40 years.
For me, bro, the one thing that like now I think anything is possible. It was after reading that Hatha Yoga book, where they said literally down to the cellular level, each cell has a mind of its own. Each cell group, each cell group. And your mind controls those cells. So you can literally command those cells to do whatever you want. All you need is the concentration power to do it.
A bunch of atoms.
Exactly. And with quantum theory, like everything is a probability.
As that develops, that's gonna
it's gonna get wild. You can do anything, man. And there's accounts of people in The Secret. There was this one guy who got in a car accident, right? And his spine was fucked. He was told he'd never walk again. But he had in his mind that idea that, no, fuck.
He refused that.
He refused it.
Didn't accept it.
With his balls, bro. Like everything, you know? With the fibers of his being, he knew that he was going to walk again.
And he did.
And he did. So when people tell me like, oh, like,
that's
you got a few more months to live. Like, wait, but you only told me that information now. You could have told me that information like 4 months back. It could have been at the exact same state. But you're telling me this quantified number now? Why do I have to believe it?
Science, which has been proven to just be changing all the time. And sometimes they're wrong. And sometimes it's just like, it isn't over until it's over. It's like so many accounts of people getting diagnosed with X thing, and then they realize that they have X amount of time to live. They stop caring about everything that's been stressing them out, so they start living the life that they always wanted to live. And then all of a sudden, bro. X diagnosis is gone.
Breaking Bad.
Just gone. Just say fuck everything.
Because I don't understand it fully, but you have to understand that a tumor is a cell that, like, I guess it hates itself, right? It starts growing, and it's not conducive to actual growth. It's eating the other cells around it. So it's like, okay, you're tensing up chronically.
Yeah.
And that is what's causing it.
And a lot of people have
It's
said
something
that
emotional. It's something psychosomatic. It's
a lot
not
of people have
actually,
said that that's something that's develops from like stress and miserable like people.
Yeah.
Like it's more likely
every disease stems from inflammation.
And inflammation can cause inflammation,
swelling, stress,
depression,
everything,
being
basically.
sad, just hating life, living like shit. So it's probably self-induced most of the time, which is probably why there's no science cure.
Yeah,
because it's a self-cure. It's a self-cure thing that you just probably fix. Because most of the time, if a fucking authority appeals to authority, if a fucking doctor who studied their whole life the science of medicine, which in that 10 years that they've been studying medicine has probably changed drastically in those 10 years. Technology and fucking information increases exponentially. So it's definitely changed. That person that has this piece of paper and has been doing it for 20 years tells you you have 6 months to live. You don't even have the balls to challenge the fact that they tell you that you have 6 months to live. So you're going to believe it and you're going to give up.
Right.
And you're just going to allow it to take over.
And that's because of ignorance. And it's not even ignorance to the point like, oh, I'm obnoxious and ignorant. No, it can be ignorant in the sense that they were never told that there's other ways. Like that doctor's been studying for 20 years. What's 20 years to human life? Like to the human history.
To fucking the
like
universe.
Yogis have been alive. Yogis 4,000 years ago. The Chinese 4,000 years ago, they closed their eyes and figured out every single meridian channel in the body.
Their breaths
every single meridian channel without any tools. So who's this doctor with 20 years of experience to tell me that I'm going to die? I don't believe that.
Oh God, I'll believe it when I die.
Yeah.
when I'm fully fucked and then I'm dying, I'll believe it. Until then, nope. They may be right, but until it's proven, I'll challenge it. Because the thing is, bro, like, no one knows, and we don't know shit. So someone else is coming to you acting like they know shit. You shouldn't assume that they know shit. They may know some shit, but they don't know all the shit. There's probably some shit that they're telling you that it's some extra shit in there that they don't know.
They're just jumping.
If everyone knew everything, life would be meaningless. We're expanding all the time. So there's going to be new shit to come up. There's going to be new shit to be invented. Cancer's treatment, if it doesn't exist yet, which I highly doubt, like it definitely exists, 100%.
And it's endogenous. I'm almost sold on this, that the cure to cancer is endogenous. Like
they're gonna make money off it, of course.
Yeah.
And figure out what neuron in your brain's fire that cures it, and then they're gonna figure out a drug that can do it automatically, and they're gonna sell it to you instead of teaching you how to do it. It's just all of those things though are very hard. Like if a doctor, if I go for an analysis and my doctor tells me I have this cancer, like I'm fucking freaking out. I'm gonna freak out.
Even if you go to the dentist, it's like, oh, you got a cavity coming, like, really?
Because that's survival, bro. That's survival. That's like death. Like that's the number one thing your body's wired to fucking freak out over.
Yeah.
So
they're fearful. It's like, oh, I gotta do this. Here's my money.
So like if someone tells you you're gonna die, like you're freaked the fuck out.
And also, these people are probably not meditating, so they don't have that space in their life saying, okay, slow down.
You need experience. Yeah, well, I guess that's what you mean.
So
too. Experience.
Right. Slow down and empty yourself so you can figure out what's really wrong. Instead, you have this doctor selling you this medication because he puts all this fear into your mind. Where it might be true, it might not, but you don't have that moment of silence, that emptiness, to actually gauge it for yourself. You're just being told, do this because that's medication.
What would you do if someone told you you have 6 months to live?
I'd say, fuck you. I don't believe that. 6 months, why?
I would believe it and not believe it.
If I did believe
I'd use it as an excuse.
If I didn't,
I'd use it as an excuse to like do whatever the fuck I want to the fullest.
I'll drop out of school.
Because there's a lot holding you back right now that you would do if you had a very like I'm gonna die kind of state, right? Yeah. You'd quit your job. You'd quit everything. You'd quit everything, and you would.
I'd go to China. I'd go to Nepal. I'd learn every single fucking ancient technique there is.
Oh, that's not even what I'd do. I wouldn't even fight it. I'd be in the fucking my house all day. I think as much shit as I can to put out before I die.
For me, I think I would want to learn how I can fix it.
Because all those people don't try to fix it when that shit heals. They just start living the life they've always wanted to live. And it just heals magically.
Right. But for me, I want to learn it. That's one of the things I still want to do before I die.
We should oh my God, when we travel, we should go to those places and see what alternative medicine. We should see what people have for Western, what versions of in the East or in other places in the world have cures in comparison to the Western cures. Because I feel like it would be very interesting.
You could probably Google it right now.
Low key. Yeah. It would be very interesting to just know that. Because that's what Steve did when he got...
India?
He got diagnosed with pancreas cancer. He did not take treatment. The first thing he did was go in the East and try to find alternative medicines and alternative cures. And then when he couldn't find anything, is his health starting to deteriorate? That's when he went for the surgery. I think something happened where it came back, where some part of the tumor stayed and then developed, and then something happened where he didn't get the treatment fast enough to remove it, and he died. And
don't get me wrong, like Western medicine is
most advanced,
amazing. Like if you're missing a leg and you need to put it back,
they can do that.
They
got you.
They got you can amputate like anything you want, basically.
Yeah.
But in terms of preventative medicine and just like
killing
treatment,
the symptom.
Yeah, killing the symptom or killing the cause, not the symptom.
Oh yeah, the cause.
Yeah, that's what the Eastern medicine is best for.
Yeah.
Because at that point they're not incentivized to suck the money out of your wallet.
They just want to give you some wisdom.
Yeah.
They just want to fix you. They want to heal you. They want to make sure the weeds don't grow anymore. You don't just cut it off and then knowing that it's going to come back so that you could just keep coming back to that weed cutting service that just makes sure that they cut it out to a point where you can't tell that it's still here, but it grows back and then you have to call them back again and pay them for his service. It's basically the West.
Yeah. and then the water you're drinking is contributing to that. The food you drink, the food you're eating, the lifestyle you're living, hunched over your desk, and even I was really into water this week. I watched a few videos, read some articles on it, and the water has memory. You know this. You watched that video. Water has memory.
Didn't, but
really,
you talked to me about it.
The video you sent me.
I didn't watch it. I just saw it.
Okay. Wow. I watched it. Anyways.
It's new. It's new. It's becoming mainstream, right?
Sort
of becoming mainstream. Is it just a new
right.
finding?
It's coming out of esoteric space.
Yeah, it's coming out of some knowledge that has existed a long time, except people who are relevant are now considering it to be.
Exactly. So water has memory. So I'm pretty sure I said this last time, but I'll say it again. So this Japanese scientist, he did a study on water. He had 3 glasses of water, one with rice in it. One of them he said, "I love you, may you prosper." The second he said, "I hate you, fuck you, you're an idiot." Third one he said nothing, indifference. Turns out indifference is the worst. The rice, the indifferent cup turned black, started molding. The second cup where he said, "Fuck you, you're an idiot," whatever.
So that's what you got wrong last time.
Yeah.
Because the last time you said the one he did nothing to was nothing happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
So indifference is the worst, and then hate is the second worst. It's still bad. Still terrible. But then the one he said, "I love you" to
flourished.
It flourished. It expanded. So water has memory, and like Sadhguru was saying this too. Like the water we're drinking comes out of pipes to thousands of miles of pipes.
Plastic, most likely, with all those chemicals.
We transport it in plastic bottles, which
by the time they get to the store, they've been in that plastic bottle for a long time.
So much heat has touched that plastic
bottle.
So many carcinogens have already been like expelled into your water that you're drinking. And a lot of people drink bottled water only. So that plastic is going into your system, and your body has to it's consuming it at the end of the day.
It's gonna fight it off. It's just more energy than it needs to if it just had good water.
Yeah, and also water that's good, it's easier to assimilate into your body. You can process it faster.
Isn't the best way to drink water is to just boil it? Or
boil to get the impurities out, but
and then filter.
Yeah, and then
what's the filter? Do you know it? The order, because I remember seeing it in a science book. You're just supposed to put some minerals, sand, or something like that.
There's a whole bunch
different types. Yeah,
different types. There's reverse osmosis. There's
oh, we should get into that. Just start fucking doing our own water filter shit.
What I've been doing is just filtering my Brita filter, and then I put it in a copper mug from Nepal, because apparently copper is the best conductor of anything. So if you touch it, because water, there's also I need to preface this. Water also takes on the properties of anything that come across it. So
that's why it should be water.
Yeah, be water, exactly, right? So if you say same with the test he did, if you tell the water love, the molecules are gonna rearrange and become love.
Shapeless.
If you say fuck you, hate, whatever, it's gonna rearrange. Yeah, and they also did a test where they made music. They made water listen to music. So when they played classical, like Beethoven, whatever, it looked like very beautiful. But then when you played like heavy metal, it was just like deformed. Like it looked like cancer.
Waves.
Yeah. It's the frequency,
to the frequencies that
so
was receiving.
In that same sense, like you can whatever minuscule changes you can make to your own life, it can do a lot because, man, like you were literally 70% water. So that's in a sense that might be how placebo works. You're changing the frequency of the water in your own blood to go towards a certain goal.
And the rest of the body, the 30% that isn't water,
it follows.
It just follows following the water. Be water.
Exactly. And
fluid,
so
shapeless,
what I've been doing is I take the water, whatever in my water bottle. So before I drink it, I'll just say thank you, like gratitude, and hold it, and then I drink it. Who knows if it's fucking woo? It might be, but water. There's been science behind water, and it proves this.
It exists.
Yeah, I believe it is it. It exists. Placebo.
Kids believe in unicorns.
I was gonna say something else, but I forgot.
You said you passed through the copper thing.
Oh yeah. There's something else.
Filter.
I forgot. Oh yeah, the 5G. So, in that same sense, water has memory, right?
I saw that thing in the resources.
Tree?
I did not watch it, but just that title was like,
yeah. So what the video Gio's talking about is a guy from the UK. He records a tree in his neighborhood, and one side of that tree is flourishing, like it's green, and then the other half is dying. The bark is coming off. There's no leaves growing on that side of the tree. And that same side, there's a 5G transmitter right beside it. Which I believe is happening. It could be that the frequency from that 5G transmitter is disrupting the water, the frequency with the frequency of it, and it's like jumbling up whatever it is that it needs to grow. So it's basically it's acting like cancer.
I want to do more research into 5G before I jump into any conclusions about it.
I did read a few articles, and it was saying that 5G is not on the spectrum that is very harmful. It's still very minuscule to the point where it doesn't affect your body as much. But who do you think is funding that research? Probably industry.
Pro 5G people.
So I can't even say that. Like you can say, oh, research this, research that. But at the end of the day, it's always N of 1. Like even if it's N of 3,000, one of it is going to be N of 1. N of 1. It's 3,000 N of 1s. That's all it is. So when people say, oh, you're just an N of 1, like it's your experience. I don't care. If it works for me, it works for me.
Water. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
That's just.
And Palachuk was saying that. Palachuk was saying when he got his neck injury, he couldn't sleep because
he spoke his neck to healing.
Well, even before that, he couldn't sleep. Right, he was having trouble sleeping, and then he turned off his router when he was sleeping,
and he healed.
And he just slept. He just slept peacefully like a baby when he turned that shit off.
There's a whole realm of shit we can't see that is going on at all times.
All times.
And we don't understand it yet. And we're just fucking around with it still.
This laptop right here is receiving
fucking doing crazy shit right now.
It's emitting and receiving certain frequencies that we can't even see. That's probably
I turned the Wi-Fi off, so that's probably a frequency it's not doing. Who knows? Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe you can leave it on.
Because like even when I put my phone on airplane mode, it still has a GPS. I can still figure out exactly where I am in time and space.
Yeah, it's just that the radiation is lowest. It's at its lowest on airplane mode. That's why.
But who's to say that it's actually even airplane mode? Like,
well, the reason why it's called airplane mode is because when you're on airplanes, the if it's on, if it's off, it'll stop like the people from being able to communicate with the people down there. But so I believe that it actually works.
I'm talking on like a conspiracy level, whereas like even if you turn it off,
is everything
if they want to find
true?
you, they can probably still find you.
Oh, of course. When it comes to like being found, like.
Yeah, we're done, man.
I don't care about that either.
Our only power is in numbers.
I'm not that special that they care about where I am that much. Like they, of course, they're gonna know.
Right.
But who cares? If someone kills someone you love, and you want to find them, you'd be thankful of that technology because they can find that person. So doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. The fact that you're able to be found.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter
until it gets to the point where it's like martial law, and like you can't even go out your house, and anybody who does will get executed. But that's extreme, obviously.
Yeah, if it gets to that point, then I'll just kill myself.
Feels like that's where it's going. Don't you think?
Doubt it. Sinusoidal, bro. Everything's in its right place. Everything needs to go to shit so it could go good.
I feel like that's where they up there want it to go, because they're controlling the masses with little fucking puppets.
I think they up there just want more power.
Yeah.
And they're not realizing.
And the only way they can do it is by stripping it away from us.
Or the interdimensional aliens are speaking and communicating to them and using them as puppets to conspire to a bigger goal of destroying humankind. And there's something going on beyond our dimension that is not fucking even comprehensible.
Thank you, Alex Jones. If anybody has not watched the most recent interview on JRE with Alex Jones, watch it. It's 3 hours long, but it'll fucking blow your mind.
No, he's just crazy, bro. He's just a fat, crazy bitch. A fat, crazy white man.
Who doesn't know anything he's talking about.
Doesn't know anything and just speaks hate. He disagrees with what I believe in. He's
the only reason he's on JRE is because he's fat.
Oh, yeah, 100%. JRE is a fucking bigot who supports far-right people and terrorists. He's wrong. Everyone who disagrees with
The only
me,
reason he's number one on podcast is
because he has a giant mood board.
Exactly.
But anyone can have a good mood board. It's been an hour and like 20 minutes. We fucking go, bro. We're good at this.
Yeah, we don't even have anything to talk about.
Nigga, you just got some knowledge.
It's pretty like.
Just kidding.
I'm trying to update or maintain my blog now on my website. /.
Don't try to build too many habits at once.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to do like at least one post a week. But even like,
that's not bad.
should I come across daily? Even if it's just like a video, I'm trying to put it up.
Thank you for listening to the Ataraxy.
Wait, I want to say something.
Thank you for just listening to the Ataraxy podcast. I hope you enjoyed. This is episode what?
19?
Oh man,
it's crazy.
About to be double digits.
What is that?
Thank you for listening. Our 25 consistent listeners. We really appreciate you. We're nobodies.
Thank you.
But we also love this shit, bro. Low key, like this actually like. This is what knocks me back into my, like, lane. When we have this conversation, it just snaps me back. Like, fuck, okay. Like, it's, like, on a selfish level, it's fuck. I love this shit. I love doing this every week. And fuck anything else. Like, having these conversations and editing it and then bringing it out, like, and then having niggas actually watch that is fucking insane. Like, nigga, that's a classroom.
Yeah. Oh, my God. You're so right. Holy shit.
That's a high school classroom.
Fuck.
Nigga, success is the process. Give us money. Bye.